Good morning, student. Today we will learn some topic under user-defined function. We already covered few part of this user-defined function, like definition of user-defined function and how to define your own function, the syntax. So, what is user-defined function? User-defined function is a function that is made by a user as per as requirement of the user. And what is the syntax? Syntax is we need to use in the starting a def keyword, then function name, and mention parameter inside the simple bracket. Then first statement that we write inside the user defined function, that is docstring, and after then write statement according to the task. In the last we use return keyword. So move to next slide. That is the topic that we are going to cover in this lecture, parameter and argument inside function. What is parameter? Parameter is a variable that holds some value inside a function. And where we define this parameter? We define this parameter in the header section of a function. These are the values which are used by function for any specific task. So whatever the value held by parameter in a function, that we will use in the body part of the function to perform some task. So while argument is the value passed at the time of calling a function. So what is argument? Argument is any value, variable and expression that we pass at the time of calling a function. So it may be one argument, two argument, three argument, it depends upon your need, your function name. So what we call to parameter and argument. We also call formal parameter to parameter and actual parameter to argument. So don't get confused, you can also call simply parameter and argument. Look here in this example, I just define add function, and inside this add function, this is called header section of a function. I use two parameter x and y. So why I am using two parameter? Because I need two value for this function. So that's why I am here defining two parameter x and y. After writing the header section, come to the body part. Here I am performing addition of x and y. Whatever the value hold by x and y, I want to perform addition on this value. After performing addition, that value will be assigned to z, and now I want to print that value, whatever the value hold by z. Now move to next line. After writing the definition of function, what you need to do? You need to call this function. If you want that this function will execute, then you need to call this function. How to call this function? Very simple. Write function name and simple parenthesis. In this parenthesis, inside this parenthesis, you need to pass argument, and the argument depend upon the parameter, that how many parameter in the header section of the function. There are two parameters, that's why we need to pass two argument. So I already told you that argument is a value, variable and expression that we pass at the time of calling a function. So here I am calling a function and passing some value. I am passing some values, that is 10 and 20. So according to the position, 10 will be assigned to x and 20 will be assigned to y. And after assigning value to x and y, we will perform addition. And after performing addition, we get 30, and that 30 will be assigned to z. And on our screen, it will display result is z. What the value stored inside z, that is 30. So it will display 30. So what we learn here, x and y here in the header section of the function definition, x and y are parameter, and when we call to any function at that time, whatever the value and variable and expression we pass, that is called argument. We also call these arguments as a actual parameter and the parameter as a formal parameter. So before executing this program, let's know about how we can create on function without argument and without return keyword. It's very easy. Till now we have created our own function with argument, but now here we will learn how we can create our own function without argument. In the previous slide we learned how to create a function with parameter and argument. Here we will create same function and perform same task without argument. So look here, this is a def keyword, add function name, and inside this parenthesis there is no parameter. Use column and come to the body section. Whatever the task you want to perform, do that. Here, look here, I want two variable because I want to perform addition, so at least I need two value. So a and b, there are two variable, and this a and b will hold some value, and I want to assign value from input function. So you know that what is the task of input function. Input function take value from through interactive mode from user, and whatever the value you enter, it will return in form of string, but I need value in form of number. So what you need to do, you need to convert that string into integer. So that's why I also use here integer function. So whatever the value that is returned in form of string will be converted into integer, and then that integer value will assign to a and b, and after value get assigned to a and b, we will perform addition and store whatever the result inside C. Then you can print this value on your screen. So when your function will execute, when you call to your function. So let's perform some practical work. So go to your Python ideally. Here we will perform some this is your interactive mode. Move to scripting mode now. First we will create a function, that is addition function. So first what I want to do, I want to create a function without parameter and argument. So define your function, that is add without parameter, so I don't need to write any parameter inside the bracket. Here I am assigning value directly to variable a and b, and perform addition on a and b. Now you can print whatever the results store inside C. So look here, result is so where is result, that is inside variable C. Come out from this function. This is all about the function. Now call to this function. How to call a function? Write a function name and simple bracket. So this is a simple syntax to call a function. So look here, what happened? Execute this program. Okay. Now we need to save this function with some name. Okay, this is already there. I want to replace this. And you can see whatever the statement we write inside print function, it will inside print function in form of string, it will display as it is, and then comma variable, whatever the value hold by this variable, it will display on your screen. So what is the value inside C? A plus B, that is 10 plus 12, 22. So it will display 22. Okay, if I will call this function again, what happens? I'm calling this function again. So look here, every time it will display same result because a and b hold a fixed value, but I want to change, I want to perform addition on different value. So how you can do that? You can do that using input function. So what I'm going to do here, I'm using here input function. You know the task of input function. It will take input through interactive mode from user. So enter the value of a, whatever you will write inside double quote, it will display on your interactive mode. And because as we all know that input function return value in form of string, but I need value in form of number, so I will convert that string into integer. That's why I am calling here int function. So same way we will do for b variable, but I need to write here b. Now you can execute this function. What happened? It will ask you enter the value of a when. Okay, this is the definition of your function. So when it will execute when we call this function. So here I'm calling a function. It will go in the starting of program and start searching for the add function. When it find the function, it will start executing that function. So it first it read the header section of the function and come to the body section. Here there is a variable and we are assigning value to a through input function. So what is inside the input function? Enter the value of a. So enter any value. I just enter 22. Now what is next statement? Next statement is input, again input function. I am assigning here value through input function. So enter the value of b. I am entering here 54. So it will display the result is 66. So that's mean the first time we call this function, it had performed that operation. Next time, sorry, again I'm calling to add function. Now again it will execute this function. Again it will ask you enter the value of a and entering 10 and b 20. It will display 30. So in this way you can change the value of a and b. Now, how we can perform this same task using parameter and argument? For that, what I need to do, whatever the variable I have defined inside this body, I will use that variable in header section of the function. So, here in the header section of function, I used parameter a and b. So that's mean whenever I will call this function, I need to pass two value. So pass two value, that is 2 and 3, and when again I will call this function, I need to pass again some value, that is 44 and 56. Now execute this function and look here. When first time I call this function, the value I pass, that is 2 and 3. So 2 will be assigned to first parameter, that is a, and 3 will be assigned to second parameter, that is b. And after then perform addition on a and b, that is 2 plus 3. Answer will be 5. Result is word C contain 5. So it will display 5. You can check on the interactive mode, it will display 5. Now next time when I call this function, at the time I pass 48 and 56. So add these two values, 48 plus 56. What is the result of 48 and 56? That is 104. So here we learn how to create your own function without parameter and argument and with parameter and argument. Till now we didn't use return keyword. So why we need to use return keyword? Okay. For example, there is a variable a, b and c inside this function. I can access this variable inside this function, but I cannot access this variable outside this function.